Frank Dikotter's Red Dawn over China, How Communism Conquered a Quarter of Humanity, 2024, is a sweeping historical account of the Chinese Communist Party's rise to power, culminating in the establishment of the People's Republic of China in 1949. Known for his trilogy on Mao's rule, Dikotter here turns his lens to the revolutionary struggle itself, examining how communism took root in China and reshaped the destiny of millions. His central thesis is clear. The communist victory was not inevitable, but the product of ruthless strategy, shifting alliances, and the exploitation of war-torn conditions. Dikotter's narrative style is rigorous, dramatic, and deeply researched. He blends archival discoveries with vivid storytelling, creating a tone that is both scholarly and accessible. The atmosphere of the book is tense and urgent, reflecting the chaos of civil war and the monumental stakes of revolution. The first major theme of the book is civil war and revolution. Dikotter traces the conflict between the nationalists and communists, showing how shifting fortunes shaped the outcome. From here, he introduces Mao's leadership. Dikotter examines Mao Zedong's strategies, charisma, and ruthlessness, portraying him as both visionary and manipulator. Another cornerstone of the narrative is foreign influence. The book highlights how Japanese invasion, Soviet support, and Western disengagement created conditions for communist success. The climax of Red Dawn over China builds around the 1949 victory. Dikotter recounts the collapse of the nationalist government and the triumphant establishment of the People's Republic of China. The resolution affirms his belief that the communist conquest was not a simple triumph of ideology, but a complex interplay of violence, opportunism, and circumstance. Dikotter insists that understanding this history is essential to grasping modern China's foundations. Dikotter begins with the fractured landscape of China in the early 20th century, marked by warlordism, foreign invasion, and political instability. He explains how the Communist Party, initially a marginal force, grew by exploiting chaos and presenting itself as a revolutionary alternative. The Civil War and Revolution theme is central. Dikotter traces the conflict between the nationalists under Chiang Kai-shek and the communists under Mao. He emphasizes that victory was not predetermined, but shaped by shifting alliances, military campaigns, and political maneuvering. The Mao's leadership section adds depth. Dikotter examines Mao Zedong's strategies, charisma, and ruthlessness. He portrays Mao as a leader who combined ideological fervor with pragmatic opportunism, consolidating power through both persuasion and violence. The foreign influence narrative is critical. Dikotter highlights how Japanese invasion weakened the nationalists, how Soviet support bolstered the communists, and how Western disengagement left China vulnerable to radical transformation. The climax builds around the 1949 victory. Dikotter recounts the collapse of the nationalist government, the flight to Taiwan, and the triumphant establishment of the People's Republic of China. He portrays this moment as both the end of civil war and the beginning of a new authoritarian order. The resolution affirms his belief that the communist conquest was not a simple triumph of ideology, but a complex interplay of violence, opportunism, and circumstance. Dikotter insists that understanding this history is essential to grasping modern China's foundations. Thematically, Red Dawn over China explores war, leadership, foreign influence, and revolution. Dikotter emphasizes that the communist victory was contingent, not inevitable. For modern readers, the book offers both history and warning. It confronts the brutality of revolution while illuminating the roots of modern China. Dikotter's message is clear. The rise of communism in China was forged in blood, chaos, and calculated strategy. At its core, Red Dawn over China is about the making of modern China. Dikotter insists that by understanding the communist conquest, we can better comprehend the nation's present and future. His book is both history and cautionary